my lovely Aries, Ali from Indigo Ascension. If this is your first time to the channel, thanks for being here. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Now, my readings are dedicated to empaths, intuitives, and sensitives, those that find themselves on the awakening journey. If you want to find out a little bit more about the work that I do as an intuitive energy healer and what I fondly call my soul ascension healings and readings, check out the description box below where you will find links to my website and my Facebook page as well as my Instagram page. Aries, I also, so on the channel you'll find fortnightly and monthly readings, okay? But unique to Instagram, you will find weekly quick reads, all right? So they're just brief 2, 3, 5 minute videos just to give the zodiacs a quick check-in on how their week may be progressing, what energies they may be integrating, okay? But obviously on the channel here with the fortnightly and monthly readings, you'll notice the videos are quite in-depth, okay? So they're anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes, okay? The reading style I do is primarily focused on integrating higher consciousness, okay? So it's about your healing journey as an empath, as a sensitive. It's about your awakening, your ascension outside of old paradigms, old ways of being, doing, experiencing self and the world around us, okay? Because we're always evolving, we're always ascending, we're always awakening to different levels and dimensions of self. You'll hear me reference the 5 levels and bodies of being. You'll hear me talk about different energy management techniques that I incorporate in all my healing work as well as in my meditation classes. All readings have the intention of connecting each listener into their higher consciousness and higher knowing, because we are more empowered when we trust the voice within, the wisdom of soul, okay? It's not about seeking outside approval or guidance under old paradigms anymore. It's about connecting into what we intuitively already know. It's about activating the light within. And that is a simple recap of my intention of my channel and my healings and my readings as well. Okay, each video does a 5-minute cosmic compass recap to give everyone an idea of the planetary influences at play, because as above, so below, all of life is cyclical, okay? The opportunities available to all of us, Aries, is that we have 6 planets in retrograde, but you'll hear me reference through the June readings that we have 5 planets in retrograde, okay? Specifically because there's only a 1 or 2 day window when one planet leaves retrograde and another one enters retrograde. However, the shadow retrograde influences are always at play, primarily with the archetypes of the planets and the retrograding planets, the eclipses. It tells a story, okay? It's like when a bunch of people enter a room. It's going to be quite different energy to when we're sitting in a room on our own. All right, so the archetypes and the energies at play and available to all of us, Aries, is about retrograding back through the timeline, okay? Everything we have ever learned about connection, intimacy, love, how that was modeled to us, the structures, rules, and boundaries that we were handed to by family, religion, society, whatever the case may be. We're looking at ways in which we're expanding, how we take on the opportunity to grow and learn, how we handle, primarily then, how we handle, what do you call it? God, I just have lost my, my train of channel. How we handle shifts and changes to our thought paradigms and patterning beliefs, how we allow ourselves to experience that expansion thanks to Jupiter in retrograde or not. Do we push away opportunities, okay? Do we get stuck in the fear? Do we need to take a look at the subconscious drives around those fears thanks to Pluto? Do we get an opportunity to awaken to different versions of ourselves, the motivating energies at play in our subconscious thanks to Pluto? These are all the energies at play this month, Aries. Now, this reading is structured the 15th to the 30th of June. I do want everyone to know, if this is your first time here, I've mentioned it in pretty much a lot of my videos, I use the dates as timestamps just for myself, as a filing mechanism. It is, I'm not interested in telling you exactly what you will experience, because I deeply believe in empowerment. I deeply believe in the soul directs their own experience. So this is more about healing. This is more about integrating your ascension. This is more about integrating your higher wisdom and showing viewers how that can be playing out in the everyday realities that we find ourselves in. It's all well and good to say we are connected into a high consciousness or intuitive way of experiencing ourselves. It's quite the other to actively integrate that to our empowerment in the challenges that we find ourselves within workplaces, relationships, life, name your thing, Aries. All right, my dear, I'm feeling a lot of reactivation. You guys rule the first house after all. To feel your vitality, to feel yourself is very much, you know, a lot of Aries do need to feel they're beginning something. You know, you can get stagnant in the same old, same old. There is a lot of introspective energy for us all over the last couple of months, but primarily what we've just experienced is solstice, the new moon in Cancer, as well as the solar eclipse in Cancer. Make no mistake, this is the ring of fire. It is return to womb, return to origin. It is a healing time for us all. And a lot of Arians carry that bold, fiery beginning energy. So having to stop and pause, connect into the emotional body, depending on what your natal placements are in your astrology, obviously, can be quite challenging, and it feels up here, in here, against your nature in many ways, okay? But let's take a look and see what collective energies I'm picking up on for the Aries that I am connecting into. So wherever you find yourself on the timeline listening to this is when it is appropriate for you. If you haven't already, go and check out your June monthly readings. There is another June reading for the beginning of June. So the 1st to the 15th. These readings, like I said earlier, are the 15th to the 30th. All right, my lovely Aries, I've pulled a theme card for you from Denise Jarvie from her deck, The Secret Language of Light, which are Ascension and Awakening cards, okay? Your card is sensitivity. Maybe a lot of the Arians that I'm connecting into are connecting into their emotional body, or at least your energy body, your psychic sensitivity, in noticing an increase in dream state. However the case may be, however your energy body integrates. You know, I refer to the five bodies and levels of being within my work. We're more than just a physical, we're an emotional body, a mental body, an energy body, and a soul. I'm connecting into a lot of Arians that are experiencing that heightened sensitivity. You might be experiencing a heightened sensitivity within your emotions. So make no mistake, with, you know, you guys are ruled by Mars, so it's a very reactionary energy. When we're learning how to balance all of that, Aries, you might be reacting within emotional states. You might be reacting within, you know, clashing thought paradigms that come to you, okay? When a new belief, a new idea, a new way of doing things is presented, maybe you guys do have to press pause in many ways in order to truly integrate that new way, even if it doesn't apply to you, or if it does, you know. That's what this journey through the retrogrades is about for all of the zodiacs. It's about, hey, the way we've been doing, believing, seeing, feeling, has it worked for us for our complete empowerment and growth? Has it worked? If not, why not? And if so, what do I choose to change? Okay, 15. There's a harmony, there's a promise of harmony here with 1 and 5. You know, we get to 6. There's a balancing here that is needed. Many Arians that I'm connecting into are wanting harmony, are experiencing a need of clashing energies, definitely, as you experience this sensitivity to the heart chakra, is what I want to say. A lot of communication energy, a lot of third eye activity in these colors as well, okay? So throat chakra activity, third eye, you might be experiencing, so as these clear and balance, you might be experiencing sinus congestion, you might be experiencing tickles in the throat, coughs. In order to truly connect into our sensitivity areas, we have to clear the blockages that have prevented us from being able to experience it, okay? So that it is just another feedback mechanism to us. We're more than just our sight, our hearing, our touch, okay? We multi-dimensional aspects of us. We experience information feedback loops in many different ways, all right? I'm definitely connecting into Arians that are experiencing this increase in sensitivity. There's a slow-moving energy here in many ways for a lot of the Arians that I'm connecting into, but at the same time, simultaneously wanting to gather this strength. Okay, something, an issue, an experience, a connection is wanting your commitment. You're definitely thinking about commitment. You're wondering how best to commit moving forward, okay? But there's going to be some courage that is needed here. I'm going to say that either an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, or a Leo is relevant. That could be relevant to your story. Leo season feels really strong to me when I'm looking at this. Maybe there are many areas that are wanting to create plans, steps forward, lock in commitments, lock in forward movement on a project, a relationship, whatever the case may be, by August, okay? Because there's a deep desire for an excitement of path underneath everything. You've got the Ace of Wands. This is your energy, and this is a gift from the divine, okay? Maybe in the recent past, above all of this, whatever the case is, you're wanting to move away, okay? You're moving away from old ways of thinking, fearing, preventing yourself from growth. This is what is above. You're wanting movement. You're wanting to travel, okay? It can predominantly be metaphysical in nature, okay? This movement of thoughts, this movement of emotions, moving away from that which keeps me stuck, because underneath all this is a spark of divine fire, Aries. Okay, with this spark, with this new idea, with this boost in your energy, you're successfully going to be moving away. I do feel in many ways, I can quite practically apply this to travel plans, wanting to commit, to take that courageous step of a commitment. That can apply to the next level of your relationship, a new relationship, an existing relationship, okay? I'm wanting to commit to this new path, this new way of being, this new way of experiencing myself, thanks to the sensitivity that I'm experiencing and awakening to. All right, you are moving out of a time of loss, Aries, in many ways, okay? Because that's what's likely to happen next. With this spark, starts a movement within you, okay? You'll energetically feel this, emotionally feel this. You'll feel this in your mind and the way in which you think about your past, okay? What you're actually moving into is an opportunity to deeply release old ways of feeling, okay? An old emotional experience, emotional losses from the past. Whatever your Three of Cups was, that fell over. Three of Cups is about celebration. It could have been an expectation on your end where you thought something would go a certain way and it didn't, and you got some news. Okay, because in the past you've got the Page of Wands. This is being presented with news. This is being presented with an opportunity. I'm feeling two different energies here. It's almost like I'm hearing a closing of a door. Okay, that didn't go exactly as I wanted. This might even pertain to the last month. It can even go back as far as 5 months, okay? Of something that was this momentum that was building. You were traveling towards something, wanting to travel towards peace, wanting to travel towards a locking in of a commitment, but you were dealing with lingering emotions, lingering losses, lingering, what ifs, all right? But this closing of a door is quickly followed by an opening of a door. And I think I'm connecting into many areas that will even intuitively feel this on some level. If something didn't quite work out exactly the way we had planned, you're also going to be seeing very quickly, not long after that, the reason why. It had to happen at divine timing. Divine timing was at play here. You finish your reading with a couple of strong major arcana cards, and this deep desire to assess things has been of purpose, okay? Which is where I'm feeling a lot of Arians that I'm connecting into is at now. You're assessing your career. You're assessing how much you want to commit. You're bravely looking at, the past in many ways, and old ideals, beliefs, even beliefs about people is what I just felt, okay? I felt a sudden shock, like, I never thought they would do that. I never actually thought that about them. I never really looked at them in that way, is what I was thinking. I don't know why I felt that. It's relevant to someone out there. There's a passionate desire for a new beginning, and that above everything is what a lot of the Arians I'm connecting into, okay? But I do want to say, don't rush this emotional release process. Don't rush this integration process of deeper wisdoms that have happened within you internally. You are sensitive and awakening to a whole new way of seeing your past, having a purpose to get you to, this might even be a 6-year story, love, because this is above all of this is the Six of Swords, okay? All right. The current energies that you're working with and what this means for you. You know, you're in deep assessment mode. How much do I want to invest? What have I gained? What have I lost? You're going to be surprising yourself, Aries, in very many ways about how much you're willing to genuinely move forward regardless of what's happened in the past. I do see losses are an influence here. This is old stories, old ideas. Underneath the deck, you've got the Five of Coins, and what's likely to happen next is the Five of Cups. There is a loss here, okay? But with this loss that I'm picking up on, with these losses, okay, it could be plural. There's a simultaneous opening of a door. Very quickly it happened, and it will happen, all right? And it gives you an opportunity to really assess where you're at, really get clear, crystal clear in a very tangible, practical way about how much you want to commit. I'm certainly connecting into Aries that are really assessing their career moves, okay? There's judgment at play, and there's a new way in which you finish your reading in your highest element. Okay. I've done your reading and Leo's reading late, okay? I needed a few days. I wanted to get all the fortnightly readings out last week. And then the solar eclipse happened. Like, that's what I'm feeling here, is something happened. Maybe I'm connecting into a lot of Arians that needed some sort of downtime last week. There was some sort of courageous conversation, courageous energy building within you after you got some news that helped you move forward, okay? A decision didn't go in your favor, or maybe it did, okay? So congratulations if you scored that job, scored that new opportunity, or you've had that conversation with a loved one yet where you have firmed plans, okay? But I'm connecting into Aries, and I feel like the reason I'm connecting to you at this point in the timeline is because something has happened in the last 5 days particularly, because what are we now? We're Monday here in Australia, Tuesday here in Australia. So it's Monday on, depending on where you are in the globe, okay? But the last 5 days, something had to, like, maybe you've had a big cry, maybe you found out some shocking news emotionally that feels like a loss, that you had to, a relationship dynamic has shifted, the way in which you view a work situation, the way in which you're emotionally connected into your finances or a financial project, a loss had to happen on some level that increased your sensitivity, that has actually opened you. This is, it's almost like change had to happen. Look at this, the beginning. There was a beginning after change, a beginning so that change can happen with that 1 and 5. If I'm looking at the numerology, okay? Maybe the 15th was relevant. Like, I feel like there was a significant few day period of about 5 days, 3 to 5 days, where you had to, and it felt like a down day, a couple of down days after a loss. You were integrating this remnants, okay? And the solar eclipse in Cancer over the weekend during solstice with the new moon was a beautiful, I'm not gonna lie, it's been hectic energy since the full moon lunar eclipse at the beginning of June in Sagittarius, but that's your sister sign, okay? So you're familiar with that energy, you're familiar with that fire. Maybe you've been raging, maybe you've been reacting, maybe your sensitivity has been increasing since the beginning of June. That's something, it's almost like the dam had to burst. I feel like someone's had a big cry, like a disappointment on some level, and it may have been triggered with something here in your now, within a relationship, within your work situation, within a conversation that you recently happened, but it actually ties into like up to 6 years worth of stuff that you didn't properly release because you were hanging on to it, which ultimately diluted your sensitivity, your psychic ability, your connection to your emotions. And the emotions are the waters, okay? It is essential to connect into our emotions, Aries, so that we can empathically, authentically connect to self and others. Our society teaches us to repress our emotions so much. We need to power on. And you guys are ruled by Mars, okay? So you're very much with that drive, very much about the fire body, obviously. But the emotions have been calling to you. It's almost like you couldn't ignore this, and there was an unplugging of the tap, an unplugging of the dam that I'm picking up on here that had to be integrated. But simultaneously with that, there's an opening, there's a boost. Like, you're going to hear about a new job, a new opportunity. You're in a better financial position than you thought. You're actually in a better position than you had originally planned with this loss, is what I want to say, Aries, okay? You're assessing things, you're wanting to commit, this relationship, this new chapter. You're going to be feeling this between now and the end of June, okay? At any point in the timeline over the last 2 weeks of June. Something from the past had to come up into your awareness to be healed, to be released. The Judgment card shows up to remind us of the past. And we're in retrograde season, folks. Make no mistake, with 5, 6 planets, we're going through change. We're wanting harmony. We're wanting to deeply integrate the wisdoms of the things we've been avoiding in many ways. We're wanting to redo things. The past comes to play. This sits in your hopes and fears. In many different ways, you don't want to judge yourself for this new commitment. That's why you don't want to judge yourself for this failure, this loss. You're judging yourself for it though, is also what I'm feeling. It's taken some courage to really decide where I want to plant roots and move forward from here, Aries. And it's taken some courage to do that. It took reserves. It took this exposure of sensitivity within you so that you can authentically power this. And it's not, I want to say, there's a new way of experiencing your drive. There's a new way of experiencing your fire body. And it was very much about connecting into the past. And you've heard the trumpet. And for the Arians that haven't, you will, okay? Is coming into your, this feeling that you've been trying to avoid, this deeper niggle is what I keep. And maybe in your dream state, you're having fear-based dreams, because that's all they are, Aries, okay? If we're having the themes in our dreams, if it's like we're running from something or experiencing some sort of darkness, or we're experiencing the emotional activations that feel like fear. It doesn't matter what's happening in the dream. Dreams are cryptic. It's messages in the way in which our subconscious communicates to us, okay? If they are fear-based, it is us processing fears. It's us processing. There's a lot of symbolism I'm picking up on here. As much as you're focused on this excitement, you're wanting to focus on practical, you're wanting to focus on the outside layers, the physical reality, the coins, the structures around you, there's been an invitation here to go deeper for a lot of the areas that I'm picking up on here. And it was so that you can truly step into your power or empowerment, male or female. The Emperor card is ruled by Aries, but I also feel a Capricorn when I look at it. Maybe you're connecting into a Capricorn. April was significant for you guys. April was a shifting, like we were smack bang in finding ourselves in frustration with lockdown, whatever the case may be. Global circumstances have certainly been very prominently a big part of our changing landscapes and experience of self, beliefs, all of that. It's all on the table, and it's all influencing us. April was significant for you in many ways. Maybe I'm connecting into a lot of areas that, that was your birthday period. You guys kicked off in end of March into April. April was a significant month for the activation of this desire, this deeper desire to commit to a new path, this deeper desire to really assess how far I've come in my career, my relationship. Where do I want to take this next chapter of my life? This thing, this passion project, and all of this releasing that's been happening since, that's been niggling at you, reminding you through your dreams. Your sensitivity has increased because you've been aware of this subconsciously, and I'm feeling this energy rise into my awareness. And I'm connecting into Arians that are processing this at present, or will be, okay, so that you can truly step into your empowerment. I really want to keep going with the energies I'm experiencing, but there's this activation. You guys have got, you've got 5, 6, 7, 8, like there's 4 in the major arcana. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's heart chakra, that's throat chakra, that's third eye chakra, that's crown chakra is your 7th, and your 8th is your soul star chakra, which deeply connects us into everything. It's like the story of everything is what I'm feeling here. And you will find linking themes, guys, in your experience of your ascension journey, in your experience of how you experience self, in your workplace, in your relationships. There's a lesson and a deeper integration here for a lot of the Arians that I'm connecting into. Bear with me, okay? There's a lot of cryptic stuff I'm picking up here. This is about you integrating losses, okay? And genuinely wanting new beginnings with the Three of Wands, guys. Seeing the manifestations. This is about increasing your psychic awareness, your connection to your spiritual self, your higher self, being completely guided on a spiritual principle of the darkness you have been through as well as the light. It's not about one or the other. It's not all fluffy rainbows, and it's not about staying stagnant in the misery, okay? It's about intuitively and spiritually ascending based on the wisdoms of both. You might be connected into a Pisces, okay? It's about wanting to charge ahead. But the Knight of Swords is also reckless energy in many ways. It is not well thought out like the Knight of Coins. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Coins, is guaranteed a place on the throne as the king. None of the other knights are. They have potential, yes, but this is where we're aggressive, yeah, Aries? This is where we're reacting. This is where we're rushing too quickly, wanting to rush things because we're excited. This is a very slow-moving energy. There's a very slow-moving way in which you've approached courage, you've approached your fears, you've courageously decided to take this commitment to the next level, and it's taken a bit of work, okay? Your fire, your life force, the solar eclipse, okay? Because the sun rules Leo. The solar eclipse over the weekend recently was significant for you to firm up something within you, whether you got news to confirm, yep, this is where I'm traveling to next. This is the progress I'm going to be traveling towards. Whether this was happening energetically, emotionally, thought-based within you. Over the weekend at the solar eclipse helped you to truly ground down into a commitment. So that, and as you did that, as you planted your feet in this open door, you have been looking back at the remnants of the past in many ways as they've been arising, but they've been arising within you, okay, for a while now. This was about a celebration, okay? This is about a coming together of soul family. This is the Three of Cups that was lost in the Five of Cups. Look at this, okay? This is you processing emotional losses. See the Three of Cups there in front? He's so focused on the losses that he doesn't even see the Two of Cups, the opportunity for a beginning in this energy. You know, he's not connecting into the wisdom of the river, that we can never really bring back the past because we connect into the river, a new version of ourselves, as well as it being a new version of that river, because the water's always flowing, yeah? We cannot recreate something exactly as it were, Aries. And that's the Three of Cups here. That's the original intention of the Three of Cups, the celebration I wanted, what I wanted to celebrate, how I wanted that relationship to grow, the ideal. I'm connecting in to Arians that have been holding on to this old ideal, old vision, old dream that didn't pan out. And the loss has been a much bigger focus of your journey thus far than the actual moment in time that life was giving you this experience. And what's been eclipsed in the recent eclipses, okay, between the early part of June to the 21st, when we had the Cancer solar eclipse, what's been eclipsed, because it was leading you, so Sagittarius is your sister sign, the fire body, our drive, our excitement, wanting to be anywhere other than here. That was complementary. That energy drew you in at the beginning of June to really connect into your emotional body so that you can acknowledge this emotional loss. That feels relevant, guys. But where you're at now, and I'm definitely also connecting in to Arians that have made this commitment. They've won that job. They've won they've secured a commitment, their new path. So you're celebrating, you know, after a time of losses, okay, in the recent past. You know, it's all systems go, guys. July is going to feel amazing for you. this is ruled by Cancer. The Chariot is ruled by Cancer. I'm definitely connecting to Arians that are traveling physically, practically, metaphysically, energetically, emotionally. Life is moving you forward. July is going to be an amazing month where you will celebrate, come together, engagement, parties, family bond, soul bond, whatever the case may be. The Sun, this is the beginning of a new relationship, a new chapter, after a time of getting completely clear about your thought patterns that were perhaps keeping you stuck in the past, keeping you stuck in your hurt, stuck in your emotional losses. You had to rise to the occasion, okay? The past and its influences had to be brought into your awareness so that you can truly step into your empowerment. This is you, Aries, in the major arcana. And it's about integrating more levels than just your physicality, more levels than just your fire body. You had to meet your emotional body, your energy body, okay? Your energy body is ruled by the psychic senses and sensitivity. Because you were holding back on some level, love. You were holding back and you weren't experiencing, because the wands rule the fire body. You weren't experiencing your fire, which is your divine fire, okay? You rule divine fire along with Sagittarius and Leo. You were not experiencing your divine fire, because underneath all this is the Ace of Wands. By the time we get to the 9, we're stagnating, we're holding back, and we're not experiencing our fire body, our enthusiasm, our drive to its most potent potential. As the Ace, it is a gift. Here is a divine spark of a beginning, of life, of creativity, of enthusiastic passion and purpose and confidence of a path. You haven't felt that way for a while, Aries, and you were desperately wanting to. And instead of dealing with the deeper stuff that was going on, that has perhaps been influencing you over the last 6 years, you've been focused on external relationships, achievements. It's almost like life and the retrogrades have been bringing you back into more authentic integration of all levels of being. There's been an awakening here, guys. Awakening energy thanks to the hangman. You had to remove yourself from a situation and experience for a time. You had to see it from another way instead of being sold a story, is what I keep hearing, okay? Really analyzing, watching from a distance, researching, staying in observer mode, okay? When I see these two cards next to each other, you chose to take an independent assessment to develop your own understanding of something that was given to you, like an opinion was given to you. That's just how things are. That's just what they're like. You did an assessment, is what I'm hearing, on everything, like your practical experience of that thing, that person, that reality, based on your past, based on the feedback you were given. You've awakened to a whole new way of looking at something, your circumstances, this person, that connection, so that you could truly see what had to be balanced within self before you can have your new beginning. Okay? Free of conflict is what I want to say, because the 5 of Swords is there too. I can keep going. The tarot just tells a story after we do a shuffle and we connect into energy. There's beautiful beginnings here, Aries. There's a new relationship, birth of a child. This is love. This is travel. This is fast forward movement. This is real strong emotional equilibrium with you and your higher self, with you and another, okay? A celebration of all of that after a time of authentically releasing the past. If you didn't win, if you didn't get that thing, if there was losses in the past, they are going, and you will see the reason why, because you're heading towards strong financial abundance, strong, and when I say financial abundance, it's not just financial, it's abundance, an assessment of everything you have taken with you, the wisdoms, the learnings, everything you've gained is an abundance, okay? Everything that you have is abundance in some form. And you will continue to commit to this new path, this new belief, this new way of experiencing self, this new relationship. You want to work on it. And this is about you being the emperor of your own kingdom, rather than reacting to life, rather than holding back or being held back by the energy cords that keep us bound to the past because we haven't integrated deeper wisdoms. That's what I'm experiencing here. Okay, Aries? That's what I've got for you, my love. Looks good, my dear. Looks good. It looks exciting. If you're not feeling it, watch how July and August pan out for you while you continue to make this commitment to deeper healing, deeper integration. The past has been of purpose, and it truly is time to eclipse it. All of the zodiacs have been encouraged to do that in a nurturing, motherly way, thanks to the Cancer solar eclipse. We're wrapping up the last 2 years. That was the final Cancer eclipse. You know, the last 2 years, 2.5 years in the journey you've been on has been stark obvious, okay, in many ways. We're going to finish with a unicorn card. These are my daughter's beautiful Oracle of the Unicorn cards. I've been wanting to incorporate them into the readings because they are beautiful and gentle. Which one? You know what? I'm going to keep shuffling, guys. I really might just put that one to the side. I'm going to give you 2 to finish off your reading. Compassion wants to show face. My hands aren't big enough to shuffle big cards. Compassion and action. Look at that. That is exactly what you're reading. Just this emotional time to go in, connect into these losses that had to be released once and for all, Aries, so that you can have true compassion for self and the situation, so that you can finally act and move forward, okay? Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others, and more importantly, see the light in the circumstances that present on your path, Aries. Whatever has been losses have truly been divine, the divine stepping in of purpose. And now divine timing is at play for many of the Arians I'm connecting into that will feel this action energy. Okay, the sun is shining through the dark forest there. There's a deep desire to move forward, travel, okay? Move forward and commit on the path you're on. Now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action towards your dreams, Aries. Move forward with confidence. Okay, my love? I send you a whole lot of love and healing. I know we're in a massive energy this month. The next few months really are an invitation to authenticity. And that's what all of this is ultimately about, okay? Like a rose, you are blooming. All right, my dear. There you go, my lovely Aries. I hope that reading has resonated for you. If so, please do like, share, subscribe, so that you can remain notified, okay, of when the readings are released. They're fortnightly and monthly, and of course over on Instagram are the weekly check-ins. So this week's quick read is already up, so go do and check that out. Please do go ahead and check that out. All right, my Aries, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll see you in July for your monthly and fortnightly readings. Enjoy the remainder of June. Namaste.